This is Daniel. This is Chasing Perfection, and we're gonna do an update on all of our cars. We've done quite a bit of work over the last few weeks. The last video was actually probably like 6 months worth of work, but I had filmed a bunch of stuff and then I didn't make the video. And then with this new year, I wanted to start making videos, so I tried to make it in a cohesive timeline as to how we damaged the fuel line, and then we had to pull the subframe and then fix a bunch of things, and then getting caught up in that whole mental space. So we have the hard line that was coming up here. We bent it over into the bottom of this fuel filter, and the fuel filter is actually in the stock location, as you can tell. And then it comes off from dash 6 over to here, and it'll go into the fuel rail. This isn't installed yet, but there it is. And then it comes over here. We tight 90 around. This is also not installed fully. Comes back around into our fuel pressure regulator, and then it goes dash 4 back. We have started this. This is our PCV valve. We no longer are using it, and we have a dash 6 off of it. We're gonna take this out, these come out, and we're gonna replace this with a dash 6 fill, or not dash 6, dash 6 AN breather hose, and then it'll come off over into this thing, which we will need to find a place for. This is 2 dash 6s into a vented breather oil catch can, which if you ever look at these things, they have almost no space to put anything, but this should go somewhere over here. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. We'll just install it like that. Yeah, they'll go somewhere. We'll have to figure it out. It's quite bigger than I thought it was. Almost thinking like this would be cool, but I think that'll be where the just like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's bigger than I thought it would be, but it's okay. All right. We pulled the intake manifold back off. I had reinstalled the subframe, but I had missed this little guy. So this is the steering, and I didn't hook it back up into the steering. Let me see if I can get a light here real quick. I didn't hook it back up into the steering column in and of itself. That little guy down there. And so happens. I'm one person, not a team of people. So we gotta just lower the subframe just enough to get it back in there. Should be a little easier with one person. Should be a little easier now that the subframe is back in place. I did it by myself, and so yeah. We do need to get a bolt lined up. Oops, sorry. We do need to get this mounted. I kind of want to make something for this, but that's another video. This is just installed currently and its current location. We're gonna do a little bit extra stuff there. It'd be kind of cool to maybe make like a carbon fiber plate, maybe from here to here, and then have it, I don't know, that might be excessive. That might be extra, extra. And then as you can see, this is why a lot of this stuff takes so long, is this got adapted back into the hard line. Oops, sorry. All this stuff gets adapted back into the OEM hard line. So it goes from hard line to AN fittings. And so this is to dash 6, or sorry, dash 4 male, and then 4 up into the fuel pressure, or the bottom of the fuel pressure regulator. So it bleeds off pressure and then goes down. Anyways, yeah. We also made some other cool things. This is a carbon fiber plate for my boost sensor for my boost gauge. And then we made a, oops, it's hard to see, but it's carbon fiber as well. And this holds my Omni 4-bar map sensor for speed density. And then of course it wraps around so you don't see it. It's not just a cable dangling. Sorry, it wraps it wraps around, so it's not just a cable dangling. And then we made a carbon fiber bracket here, just because I thought it was cool. Really unnecessary, I'll be honest with you, but it looks cool. And then we are gonna probably be cleaning up this wiring. One of the problems with this is it goes back into the OEM MAF sensor. All right, so we're back in the shop. We're getting a little bit sidetracked on a project, but I don't like the way that this AN fitting sticks out so far. So we have two options. We can run an adapter like this. Run an adapter like this, and then that will go to our breather here. But I don't necessarily like having, I would need another fitting from here for the hose, or I use this. I don't know if I've explained this, but I run this, and now I have this large thing hanging off of it. And just with how much stuff that is, it just feels like there's a lot of stuff hanging off of it. So I have a second one of these, which is over here. Which is right here. I have a second one of these, which is right here, and we're gonna throw it in our lathe, and we're gonna trim this off, and then we're gonna re-tap it. I kind of cut it off the first time, but I did it with a hacksaw, and I think that's a big part of the problem. Let's see if we can focus, but the edge is really not very good. So we're gonna lathe it up now that we have our lathe set up. We're gonna lathe this piece because I had cut it. Oops. We're gonna lathe this because I cut it originally with the hacksaw, which I don't know if it's gonna focus very well, but I cut it with a hacksaw and you can see how straight it is. Nice. So now we got this laid down and now it fits better. This is what we were, if you guys can see. So it was about there, just before I started bottoming out, and now we have that, which is awesome. Alrighty. So we got the thing back in. Our subframe is fully in now, which is pretty awesome. We just had to hook up back hookup. Words are tough. We got this all back together. It needs the bolt, but that's okay. The hardest part was getting that line back up. We have the subframe installed fully. So now everything can go in underneath it. The transfer case, the exhaust can go back on, which means the turbo can go back on. We can also hook up the subframe, the lateral subframe for this mount. There's a cross beam that goes there. And then this will be, the whole engine will be held in place. We can get the intake back on. Things we accomplished. We got this lathe, which was really nice. And now it's not sticking out all crazy. We can now use tight this one, and it won't look as awkward, which is really cool. Sorry, I don't know why this glare is so bad. 1 second. It just dropped my fitting. All right, so now we can use this one here for our breather, and that will give it, instead of having to use this tight fitting so it wasn't sticking off so far, like this, and then having another fitting on it just seemed like a lot of fittings. This is obviously wouldn't be right, but it'd be like a straight one off. Just felt like 5 fittings on top of each other, and that was just too much. So now we can just have one nice clean line from this one here. If I can do this through a camera, there we go, nice, got it. So now I can have one line off of it, and then it'll be just straight hose to the breather. They sell a little adapter that you just pull this one out and then you put another one in, and then just straight dash 6 AN. And that's really cool because then I don't have to deal with getting this one done and tapping in all that other mess. And then, like I said, intake back on. The wiring, I'm actually pretty happy with it. We just need to get new loom. I don't really like this split loom, so maybe we'll get some cool looking loom. Yeah, I don't know, just one of those things. I think we're going to finalize where this is going to go, whether we do move it or not. We do have this carbon fiber plate, which would go here, and then it moves it this way, and then it kind of cleans up this whole area, and then it would, maybe we do that, because then it would give us a space for our breather. Then we can mount that there, and then it'll be 2 nice direct shots. Sorry, I'm not even looking at the camera. We may move this back over here the more I think about it. We do have a new tool that I'm going to show off here in a bit, probably next episode. And I think actually that might be a lot better. We have this carbon fiber plate that I made, and that moves that one here, and then it moves this thing. It would mount to this side here. Oops. It mounts like this, and then it actually moves this part here, and then that would give us more space for the breather here. So that'd be the 2 air filters, and then the air filter comes up over here. So the air filter would come here and here, then the breather, catch can, and then the fuse box would be lateral. And then I think we can hide our cruise control underneath it like this. We do have a plate. Alrighty, so we have this. We 3D printed this out of carbon fiber PTG, and we're thinking it'll be something like this. And then we can actually mount this here, and it'll be tucked, potentially, if we did our math correctly. Okay. All right. So we 3D printed this bracket. Like this. It's supposed to be like this, mount here, but it doesn't fit because it hits this. So we ended up modifying it to this, and it fits here like this now. We also made this plate. It should fit hopefully right here and line up these 2 holes. Oh my goodness, right there, like that. Like that. Let's see if they fit.